All right, all right, all right, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 404 of the Pancakes and Power Slam show. This is a live Christmas Eve edition. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are open to the public, or as Dusty Rhodes would say, to the public, if you will. We are open to the public. So this person is live right here on the video, ready to have some fun and ready to celebrate Christmas Eve with us, ladies and gentlemen. He is Super Mix. He is Shawn Hernandez. How are you tonight, sir?
Doing great. Down here on the Riverwalk, watching some Christmas lights, and it's pretty packed here, man.
Nice. Let us see a picture. Let us give us a little video shot of the lights that you're looking at right now.
Um, I'm at on the big oyster bar. I'm right next to the Christmas tree.
Nice, nice, nice. That's
And
awesome.
right out there is the Riverwalk, guys.
Nice. Are you still in
While
Texas?
I see all these white people going.
Nice. Are you still in Texas?
Yes, sir. I'm in San Antonio, Texas.
Nice, nice, nice. That's awesome. So, what have you been up to these days?
Um, just hanging out.
Just hanging out. You
Uh,
still?
I've been doing some. I'm just indie shows. I've been doing some auditions for some upcoming TV shows and commercials. Um, all that. So on January 6th, I'm really excited about that. I just prepared places. I'm commercial with two TV shows, so hopefully it works out well. And you should be seeing me on the national stage of wrestling again within the next month or two. So picture there.
Oh, okay. Is that a teaser that I'm hearing?
A little bit, yeah.
Live on a national stage is what he said in a month or so. So that's cool. That's good to know. That's good to know. Good stuff. So we're going to be asking questions, guys. Really appreciate you all joining us tonight on the episode 404 of the Pancakes and Power Slam show. 404 episodes. That is great. This is Hernandez's second time on the show. So I'm definitely grateful for this time as well. This is the first time that he's been on the show via live video. So this is super awesome. So if you have any questions, do a hashtag Ask Hernandez. Hashtag Ask Hernandez. Um, my boy Ice Train. Ice Train is saying, looking good, have fun. Remember Ice Train from WCW?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah, he was awesome. He still is, man. He looks like $1,000,000, man. He still looks like
Really,
a million. Yeah, he looks great.
really.
Yeah, he
Oh
looks
man,
great,
it
man.
was. I was a big WCW guy when I was coming up. Everyone liked back then it was like WWF or WCW. For myself, even before NWA was strictly WCW, man.
Yeah, I was a WCW guy too. Yeah, huge WCW fan for sure. Absolutely. Cool. So what else you got going on today? What's your Christmas plans?
Well, this is my first Christmas. I have no kids.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
So
So,
that's a little bit of a relief, huh?
oh yeah, well, I got three of my own, and I have three stepkids. So
Oh,
I
wow.
got I got the Mexican Brady Bunch here. So,
You really got the Supermax.
oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. And why you think I'm doing? Why you think I'm doing all those auditions to get some money for
Right.
the kids? This little small sabbatical I took off from national TV from wrestling ends real quick when you got six kids.
That's right. That's right. That's absolutely right. Yeah, yeah.
But
So
yeah, this
let's jump right into the questions here. We got Under the Mat asking, what is your most memorable LAX moment and thoughts of Santana and Ortiz?
great. Obviously, myself and Homicide winning the NWA Tag Champions for the first time, first Latino champions ever for NWA. As far as Santana Ortiz, those guys are great, man. I mean, Homicide is one of the mentors, and he obviously helped train those guys. You know, those guys, next 5 or 10 years are going to be gold. And they're awesome now. Just imagine with a little more maturity and more, being around them, especially being the AEW with those bigger crowds. You're going to see some big things from those kids.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, what are your thoughts on, the LAX name? Them. Do you think that they did well? They're proud and powerful now. They're no longer LAX because of AEW. But them taking the LAX name and Impact Wrestling, did it? Did you have any issues with that, or were you okay with that?
I have none, absolutely none, because people forget when we were LAX. Conan was LAX with us for only 1 year. Me and Homicide, we carried the LAX brand for the next 2 or 3 years. But then for myself, going to Mexico, going to Lucha Underground, I'm Hernandez. I'm Supermax. You can't take that away from me.
Right.
So,
yep.
LAX is a great name. Don't get me wrong, but LAX belongs to Impact. I'm pretty positive Santana Ortiz will make big names of themselves, being the proud and powerful watch.
Yep. Absolutely. What do you think about them being in the inner circle? I'll be honest with you. I think it's a weird addition to the inner circle. Do you think that they need the inner circle to? It seems like they can be over by themselves and really don't need. I'm a huge Jericho fan, but I'm a big fan of faces being faces and heels being heels, and it just seems like they have a really odd type of feel in that group. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think when you're on the bigger national stage like that, unlike an Impact, which is obviously smaller, you need to let these guys breathe and have their own feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you put there's 5 or 6 guys in their groups. I mean, eventually somebody's gonna get lost.
That's right.
Somebody's gonna be forgotten. You can't feature those guys on a weekly basis. Every guy in that group. So unfortunately, someone's gonna be left out in the cold, and hopefully, it's not my kids. So
yeah, that's a good point. Absolutely. Lexi's asking, when teaming with Matt Morgan, you can see it on the screen, Shawn. Actually, you can see it. If you look at the screen, you can actually see the question. You see that? Technology. There you go.
I don't see a question.
Oh, it's on the screen there. It says, when teaming with Matt Morgan and TNA, was there any learning moments that you took away from the experience?
Was there any kind of what moments, sir?
Learning moments that you took away from the experience.
Yes, if you take Jim Cornette away from being our agent, it will not work.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. So
did I put 2 power guys that both you're trying to push as single stars and don't know what to do with them because Cornette quit or fired, however you want to say it, and so we don't know what to do to these single guys. Let's just put them in a tag together.
So Cornette was instrumental in y'all, becoming a team and really getting your push.
No. Cornette was the reason why we got pushed as a tag because they didn't know what to do with us when he left.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so interesting. Yeah. So how long was he your agent at Impact?
Well, from my singles from 2009 until he departed the company.
Okay, got it.
When I was doing my single run, and I was getting good matches, and the crowd was getting behind me. He was there. He was putting it all together for me.
Mm-hmm.
People say bad things about Jim. Realize that Jim knows what he's talking about. He knows what can and cannot get over. And I mean, let's be realistic. Maybe some of the verbiage he says is outdated. Obviously, it is. But I mean, I was raised. My dad was in Green Beret for 30 years in the Army, so we've been around in different places where the people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s still talk like that when they should be, saying things that what they really don't mean.
Yeah.
If you ever been in the South in Mississippi, Alabama, in those areas, in Georgia, those areas right there. I mean, but to say that guys are racist is a little, that's a bit of a stretch.
Do you think NWA should have let him go, or do you think he should have stayed?
Brother, you saw that NWA does tapings. So when you have a taping, you have plenty of time to correct things. So maybe what he said, what should not have been said, I totally agree. Maybe it should have been said because it's an outdated joke that many of the younger generation don't realize it's not racist. It's supposed to be a joke. But you have plenty of people who do production that was sitting on the shelf for 2 months.
Yeah.
And no one, so you're saying no one fixed it then? So I think that obviously the problem, lies bigger than just Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
It's, that's strictly on production. Because I mean, how hard was it to press find Jim Cornette money, whatever, and push a 7-second pause?
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, you do it. I mean, everyone. I mean, live radio does that. A 3 to 7 second
delay
pause just for profanity. So you can't do that for that.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. Elvis is asking, who got you into the wrestling business?
Actually, I was on Texas Terror, which was a arena football team in Houston. Wasn't making no money, and I went to work out at a Gold's Gym, and Tugboat Taylor and his son Chaz from the old Global days.
Oh yeah, GWF.
Oh yes, the gold days.
Yeah.
Gave me the nice salesman, hook, line, and sinker. I joined the next week.
Nice. That's really cool. What year was this?
This was 98.
98. Wow.
Yes, sir.
21 years in the business now, huh?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Almost 22. You got 21, I give you 22.
I'm good.
Let's see. Next question. I got a few more for you because I want you to enjoy yourself. I really appreciate you taking your time out and being on the show tonight, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, there's no problem. You're gonna bring this. Thank this young lady. She's my wife.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Hernandez. Is that Mrs. Hernandez?
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
She's being very facetious about that. So.
Looks like your video went out. I don't know why, but there we go. Yeah, it's back on. All right, so Mrs. Hernandez is she's waiting. She's waiting for hubby to have fun with him on Christmas Eve.
Go on one of those riverboat rides.
Yeah. All right, so I'll ask a few more questions, Shawn. All the listeners, all the fans of the show, thank Mrs. Hernandez for for having Shawn, for patiently waiting as Shawn takes time away from their date night. I did not know that. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Michael's asking, let's see, Andrew's asking, who is your one dream opponent or dream match?
Brother, I got to wrestle a lot of great guys. I got to wrestle Samoa Joe. I got to wrestle AJ Styles. I got to wrestle probably my favorite for myself. There has to be a tie between Kurt Angle and Sting.
Nice.
Getting to do singles matches against those guys are legends.
Yep.
I dare you to pick a better guy in his prime, better than AJ Styles or Kurt Angle.
Yep. I think that's a great idea. Great point for sure. Michael's asking, how did you come up with the border toss?
I just wanted something different. I mean, I'm a huge ECW fan from the mid late 90s, and I was a big fan of Mike Awesome.
Oh, okay. Awesome Bomb.
Pleasure of tag. Most definitely. I got pleasure of tagging with him in All Japan in 03, and just learning from him. And everyone can be a big man. Everyone has, the choke slam, body slam, power bomb. And I learned from him to be a little bit different. So, you stick out a little bit more.
Nice. All right, two more PNP Nation. Let's see. Let's do. What tag team partner did you know would work the best? Corey's asking. Out of all your tag team partners, who's one that you know that would work the best?
Obviously, well, after I got Homicide, anyone else was gravy. I mean,
yeah.
I went, a funny story. In the early Ring of Honor days, Homicide was the main event. He was a superstar of Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I was the pre-show guy.
yeah.
I was lucky to be in the pre-show, and who would have thought 4 years later that we'd be tagging together and making money together?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't, no disrespect to Matt Morgan, no disrespect to Chavo, but me and Homicide we just gel very, very easy.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from Chavo as well. I mean, as far as my first, everything you saw on TV from 06 to 2010, for me, if you didn't like it or you didn't like it, don't blame me, blame Homicide, because that's Homicide's most definitely.
Yeah.
So don't boo me.
Right. Don't boo me. Boo Homicide. All right, last question, guys. Mo is asking, what's your next steps and what wrestling promotion would you like to work at next?
Right now I've been trying the last couple of years, and it's worked off and on because I like to dabble a little more like TV and acting and stuff. Last year I did an episode on Queen of the South. I'm up for two different movies. Two different TV shows and a commercial that I'll know January 6th whether we get it or not. And as far as wrestling, give back a little bit, use my name and use my prowess and help these young guys become stars.
Nice. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it so much, man. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Mrs. Hernandez, for for giving some time out to hang out with us. Merry Christmas to you both, and greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You got a show coming up, right? I want to be sure to plug that.
Yes, I'll be in San Francisco.
Oh, Petaluma.
Petaluma, California, January 4th.
My birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yes.
January 4th.
Yes, it's for Lucha Patron. It's a really good organization. I'm the TV champion there. Chris Masters is the heavyweight champion there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so Chris is a good buddy of mine. Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Thanks a lot, Shawn. I appreciate you being on the show, man.
No problem, man. Happy holidays.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right. Good stuff. Big thanks to Homicide for being on the show. I did not know that I was taken away in time from his date with his wife. So huge thank you to Shawn Hernandez for being on the show tonight on Christmas Eve, live and in living color. And thank you, Mrs. Hernandez, for so graciously taking time out of your date with your husband to watch the lights for him to be on the Pancakes and Powerslams show. Now that is dedication and that is faithfulness for you all, the PNP Nation, for Hernandez to take some time off a date with his wife to be on the show live. So big thank you. Huge. And again, he said he's looking to be on mainstream television again in the next month or so. So he said that it is a teaser. So he kind of threw a teaser in there. So PNP Nation, how are you doing tonight? Live and in living color. And once again, big shout out to Hernandez. Corey saying Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Corey. We are literally 28 minutes away here on the East Coast for Christmas, and we're going to have some fun. We're freestyling it tonight. Of course, the hashtag Ask Chris questions. We're not going to necessarily do the regular format as we usually do because it's Christmas Eve and we are live. And I wanted to, because I do it for you. Still wanted to keep the show on running and going. With the format, with the weekly format, with the video interviews or with the wrestler interviews. So huge thank you to Hernandez for being on the show live on Christmas Eve, ladies and gentlemen. Christmas Eve. Once again, next week is New Year's Eve, and the show will go on. I do have some ministry to do. Yes, Lexi, absolutely. Remember to rate and share the video. Like and share the video. Hashtag Ask Chris. I'll answer some Ask Chris questions, and then we're going to figure out what the flavor of the week is going to be. I'll let you guys freestyle it for the rest of the year for this show and next week too. We're going to be freestyling the flavor of the week. Next week we are going to do the PNP year-end awards, and then we're going to make it happen. Corey's asking, do you have any big interviews coming up in the new year? Of course I do. I always have big interviews coming up in the new year. I'll be at WrestleMania, so I'll be doing some stuff there. So follow me at Chris Prolific, as you see right there. Follow me at Chris Prolific, so you'll be aware and abreast of the interviews I have. And of course, we have an interview here every week on the Pancakes and Powerslams show. So jump in, get ready for the Q&A. Like I said, we want to I want to keep innovating on the Pancakes and Powerslams show. It'll be 8 years celebrating in April. So I want to keep being innovative. I'm doing live video interviews with wrestlers for you guys, like on Christmas Eve. So that's how dedicated I am to the show for us to have fun. Next week, like I said, I got some ministry to do. I will be DJing a big party, a big Jesus party next week in the evening. So we will be pushing the show up we're gonna do about 7:30 next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And so we will still have an interview. We'll still have all that good stuff. So still stay there, ready to go. Ask Chris is the hashtag Ask Chris, and let's have some fun for everyone. Lexi's asking, how do you feel about the blatant punch botch seen around the world last Wednesday on AEW? Do you think people are blowing it out of proportion? For those who don't know, there's been one of the creepers. There's a big buzz going on, big news of negative news of one of the creepers. When everybody all the baby faces got jumped by the Dark Order to close AEW. One of the creepers just did a horrible job punching Dustin Rhodes. Let's see. Actually, if I can, I could bring it up. Actually, let's see. I'm gonna bring it up. Let's see if I can find it somewhere. Randy Orton even says something about it. Yeah, I'm gonna. Speaking of that, Lexi, you're in the wrench mob. That's what I call it, the wrench mob now, not the lynch mob, but the wrench mob. Congrats to Lexi for being an admin now, part of the wrench mob. There's some really good questions coming from here, and and I'll address them. I will address them. I'm gonna try to find. I'm gonna try to find the creeper punching Dustin Rhodes. So Dustin Rhodes was embarrassed by it, and he said, "Work on your freaking punches. There are always going to be those out there that try and bring others down. When you see people exposing their business, call them out." So that's what he said about because he deleted a tweet that said, "Please learn how to punch, or better yet, come to my class that I hold weekly, and I will teach you." Yeah, it's almost 2020. I'm embarrassed at what I just saw in the great business that I still protect to this day. Please learn how to punch, or better yet, come to my class. Okay, cool. Thanks. I'm about to bring Evan on here. He actually sent me the link to a video here. This is from Wrestling Days. Okay, I'm about to play it. Thanks, Evan. Appreciate it. So I'm about to bring Evan on here too. Okay. So that's let's see, that's just commentary on it. Let's see. I really want to bring I really want to bring this up. I'm sure it's on Twitter somewhere. I really want to bring this up, man. I have to bring this thing up. If someone has a link, throw it in, because I really want to bring it up. And I'm sure it's on Facebook, on Twitter somewhere. Let's see. I'm gonna bring it up real quick. Yeah. Mo, let's see. Yeah, Mo, actually, I need to put you in a lynch mob too. Oh, the wrench mob. I mean, the wrench mob. I'm gonna put you in the wrench mob too, Mo. Actually, as we're talking about that, I'm gonna put you in the wrench mob too. I'm bringing it up now, and Mo, you're in the wrench mob, my friend. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to find a link for the creeper punching the real bad botch, the creeper in punching Dustin Rhodes, the really bad botch. I saw it somewhere. I saw. Okay, here we go. I found it. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. Mark's reviews. Okay, shout out to Mark's reviews for this. Here is the let's bring on Evan here. We gotta talk about this.
What's going on?
Watch. What's going on, man?
The last PNP of 2019, if you will.
The last PNP. Well, actually, there's one next week. So,
yeah. Yep. This is the Eve.
Yes, the Eve.
And this is the PNP.
The go home. Yes, the go home. Yes,
the go 2019. Home. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. You know, Chris, you and I consider you a brother and a close friend. You and shout out to my buddy Mike. I've been kind of off the grid the past couple weeks. With wrestling, I gave my show a break until next year. Personal things and the holidays. I didn't watch the punches until literally. So I sent you the link. I heard about it. People was calling me, texting me. People that work at AEW, WWE texting me. Oh, hey, look at this. It's fun. And granted, we've seen punches miss. We've seen kicks miss. And that's all. I mean, you can at least contact the face. I mean, the punch was like this. It was like no, it was sitting in the mat, nowhere near the face. Yeah. Horrible, man. It just
it was
man,
horrible.
Look, it's not just because AEW, if it was WWE, if it was Impact, TNA, what we call them, if it was any other promotion, it would have been just as bad. But come on, I
I
mean,
agree. I agree.
AEW, whoever this guy is, the Minion or the Mole or the Foot Soldier or the Putty
Yeah,
Patrol or the Stormtrooper, whatever you call them, at least know how to punch. I mean, think
yeah,
about it in real life. You hitting the mat, and you just, I don't even know if a punch connected.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Here we go.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
What?
Look at that mess. Oh, just horrible. And poor Dustin, he just had to keep selling. Like he had to sell it. Like that's the crazy part of the thing. Just
is
look
it's
at this mess.
it's one thing if you use punches and it doesn't look real. Like none of them connected. Like
And then he pulled his hair out.
it's like come on.
Oh, that's so bad. Oh,
And,
that's
and,
so
and
bad.
I just found out from a colleague that the Young Bucks did a parody of it.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, what was it? All not all elite or being elite.
Being the
But
elite, yeah.
they actually they actually know they did the same thing where they was doing they were punching Christopher Daniels, and Christopher Daniels still was selling it even though the punches didn't connect.
Wow.
Being elite, thank you, Mo. So somebody told me this earlier, but it just
Wow. That's wild.
look. This is the thing. If it was WWE, okay, botches happen, you laugh about it, you get on it, but it doesn't help when you're AEW. There are what 12, 13, 14 weeks in your new company. So
Yeah.
you know the smallest nook
Yes.
and cranny of a
Yes.
botch is gonna be overly used, it's gonna be blown up. So
Absolutely.
it's he can just get fired or go this I don't know. But
100%.
to me it's no excuse because like WWE has tons of talent. Anna Pierce, our buddy Chris, Abyss, our buddy Hurricane Helms, and Renee Goulet is passed away. Rest in peace to him, who's an agent. You have all these people in WWE and in AEW. You got Pastor Telly, you got Dustin, you got DDP, you got
Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko, and you got all these legends in their own rights. Learn how to do a punch. Our backyard wrestled back in the day. And I actually it was a pretty good amateur wrestler too. Won 2 championships in the tournament. I was pretty good. We
Nice.
backyard wrestled all the time. You punch, you hit. It's now stomps are different. I can understand if a stomp
Right.
is more forgiving, but a punch.
Yeah, you gotta know how like
I apologize for that, guys. That lets you know something too. Whoever that is, Minion 3 and Minion 4, whatever his name is, he has never been in an
Creeper number 7.
to Creeper 7. He's never been in an actual fight.
No.
Never.
No. It was
So it's
uh it's
man.
bad, man. It was just all bad. Just and poor Dustin, being in the business for 30 years, man.
Right.
Just to I mean, like 30 years in the business, and then now he has to defend, someone just doing a horrible. Dude, you had one job.
You had one job.
You had one job.
What are you doing? You're fired. Get out. Just one job. Not even a nail hit. Not even a nail. Get out here.
Creeper number 10. You're fired.
Not even a nail hit. Not even a nail. Not even you couldn't get an inch to his face. Nothing. Just a bit. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get out. This is
You had one
just imagine
job.
if Dusty.
You had one
Just
job.
imagine if
Creeper number 10.
Dusty was alive.
Yeah.
One job.
Oh man. Yeah, you had one
And I'm
job.
sorry.
Man. You had one job.
It's not necessarily as judging because, excuse me, we have friends in the business. I know, Chris, you was an athlete. I wrestled and played baseball. I backyard wrestled. I helped build rings. I even played wrestling in the background with a couple of guys.
Mhm.
WWE, AEW. We play around. We all know how to hit. I've
Yeah.
been in locker rooms, and wrestlers I'm not going to name that's been all over WrestleMania Starcade, where they played, chopped each other, where they played punch, and they played punch to me, and I
Yeah.
played punch them. My punches connected. Even their wives, who was 105 pounds with two bricks tied to their neck, knew how to connect the punch, and
Yeah.
they're all playing.
And here's the thing.
And
Here's the thing. Here's the bad thing about all this. You know that you can't just blatantly punch someone in the face, right? Like when you were like
right,
doing the play wrestling and all that, like backyard wrestling.
yeah,
But you knew that you had to make it look real. Like that's the
exactly.
point. That's the point. You have to make it look real. And the very fact that you're just kind of hooking them, like you're not even hitting his back. That's the crazy. You're not even hitting the guy's back,
It's
and it's crazy that you're
I'm
trying.
a,
And you're looking at Dustin Rhodes. He's just kind of flailing his
it's,
head. It's like, and you could just
it's,
tell. When I was watching that, I watched it earlier this week because I didn't even notice it. I watched AEW. I watched Dynamite, and I didn't even notice it. And when I watched the video, and I was like, Dustin, what? Like, why don't you just tell him like hit me, like try to shoot it? You know what I mean? Try to shoot.
when your
Hit
face
me.
over some.
Yeah, like because they talk to each other. So why he's hitting me? Why he's
Right.
hitting them? I'm
Mm.
thinking like Dustin, just tell him, like what are you doing? Like hit me for real, And it's really interesting, man. I was wondering why why they did that, why he didn't do that, but
It's
regardless, though, I mean, regardless of the fact, the fact of the matter is, dude, you only had one job. That's all you had
it's
to do. It was horrible.
it's this, and we can laugh about it. We think about all the all-time botches, and granted, I know Matthew, the guy who created Botchamania. No guy, nice dude. He weighs about probably 120 pounds, soaking wet with two bricks.
Mm-hmm.
Good dude, met him. We talked. Fan, he knows about you, Chris. He knows about your show. Too. He's a fan.
Oh, nice.
The Botchamanias. We can think about what are some of the all-time botches. Our good old friend Uncle Fred. The Shockmaster, the Jackie Gator flop, the Kiss Demon, whatever that was on Nitro. I remember one people may not remember Chris Benoit when he was in existence. He went against Mark Henry. Was Tony Evans called him Mark Henry on an old Raw. He went to do the crossface, and Mark Henry's extensions came out. I remember this on Raw. So it's certain bot. When you say bots, you think of Shockmaster and this, that, and the other, and Taker getting on fire, and RoboCop and Sting when the
Right.
actual door was off the hinges. But you get it. But this is
Goldberg punching
Goldberg,
the window.
yeah,
Yeah,
punching the window
yeah.
is that has to top the cake. I mean, the hits didn't connect. I mean, we all seen punches, we seen kicks, we seen Scott Norton, a good old buddy, when Rick Steiner one time tried to body slam him, and dropped him on his head. Stuff like that happens.
Yeah,
But a punch,
yeah,
we get
yeah.
if it's like a Superman punch from Roman Reigns or a super kick. You may not always time it right, but a punch,
Well,
one job.
yeah,
And it's multiple punches. I see if it was one,
yeah, yeah,
multiple.
yeah. Just
And,
multiple
and
punches.
I know you felt the air from your
Right.
fist to that mat, knowing okay something didn't connect. So why
Yeah.
can't you just move on over? Like you have a mask so they can't see your mouth. Hey Dustin, move over some, grab his head, and some kind of. I'm sorry. It ended the year in a notorious note
Hmm.
for AEW. Like I said, we got friends that work there. We hope they succeed. Same way with E, same way with Impact, whatever you call them, MLW and ROH. But
Yeah.
man, I
Yeah.
mean, ROH had a botch. Your boy PCO, that whole her segment, I was there live. That
Oh
went
yeah,
against
yeah.
that went
They
against
couldn't
two or
open the
three
trunk.
minutes.
Yeah,
They
they
can
couldn't
open the
open the
trunk.
hood. Yeah, the hood. Yeah, couldn't open the hood.
Man,
Yeah, I
that
was.
stuff happens.
I saw
But
I heard the boos. Yeah, you were there live.
yeah,
Final battle. Yeah.
first of all, we
Yeah.
was like, why is there a Hearst sitting in the events center
Yeah.
for like 5 hours? And not only this, the Hearst had smoke coming from it the whole pay-per-view. Even during the pre-show, it was smoke coming out from the Hearst.
Wow. Wow.
And I just that punches. I
Horrible.
mean, and then for the young bucks to make fun of him, which they do.
Yeah.
Look that up, guys. You get a chance. Being elite, Mo. Thank you, Mo, for the name of it.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah, I definitely got to check that out for sure. We are 8 minutes before Christmas here on the East Coast, so we're going to be celebrating. We're going to we're going to do some more Ask Chris questions, and then we're going to discuss what the flavor of the week is. I think I got some trivia somewhere too.
You want me? You want me to bring up that chat we talked about off air?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah,
So,
yes, absolutely.
here's something, guys, with the Ask Chris questions. Let us know what are some of you guys' best or worst Christmas gifts relating to wrestling.
There you go. I love it.
And I got a surprise for you, Chris. And I've been showing this publicly. I found this in the archives cleaning. This is a throwback.
Is that
Look at
Flair?
this.
Oh, Hogan
Hogan with the white
with
bandana.
the white. Yeah, nice.
Christmas gift
Love it.
when I was one. She used to hang up in my old room.
Nice.
And I have not seen that picture in 30 some odd years. And I just
Wow.
found it the other week when I text you about the Wrestling Creator Wrestling magazine.
Nice.
So yeah.
Let's see here. Sean is asking how I came up with the show name. Good question, Sean. So basically, Pancakes and Powerslams came up from 2012, April of 2012, April 3rd, I believe, of 2012. It was the Raw. I mean, it was a Tuesday right after Mania, so whatever that was. I think it was the 3rd or something like that. Let me see. WrestleMania, that was so 7 years ago. That would have been 28. 28 was the first. So Tuesday the 3rd was the first Pancakes and Powerslams show. That the launch was the Tuesday right after Mania. So basically, the idea was to have a morning style show, and like a type of kind of rise and shine wrestling review type thing. So me and a good friend of mine who was still part of the social media team, he was a co-host for a while, Ryan, and him and I. So I was like, you know what? I have no idea how to do. I've been a journalist for a long time, and so 2012, the podcast industry was still in its infancy, really. But I was like, I kind of want to get ahead of the curve. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll just go in. I'll just dive in head first. So 2012, I started, and we were coming up with names. We had a few names actually, kind of like what Goldberg was supposed to be the hybrid, or New Day was supposed to be the Genesis. So they're like, everybody had their list of names that they were going to be. Suplex Sunrise, Suplex, or something like. There was like a few
Oh, that's cool.
that was a part of it, because the goal was morning in wrestling. And so there was a few options, and so we came up with one of them was Pancakes and Powerslams, and it's crazy that we actually drew from a hat which one Pancakes and Powerslams came up. So that's how Pancakes and Powerslams originated, and the first one was Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. That was the first. That was like a pilot episode. The first episode was Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. And so that didn't do very well. And so I was like, you know what, man, let's hurry up and make this let's hurry up and improvise. And so the next week I did 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, and numbers just through the roof. And it's great. It's crazy. Just like it was like, I don't know, the debut episode. I don't even know how many it did. I have to go back and figure out and find out what it did. But the debut episode did a certain amount, and then the week after, or within a couple weeks, it was 4 figures. So yeah, I was like, okay, well, I know where I'm gonna be. I know where it's gonna be at now. So it's gonna stay there, and that's where it was, and it stayed there. So lots and lots of fun. I've shared that a bunch of times, but I love sharing it. I love sharing that story. So thanks for asking again, Shawn. Let's see what we have. So we got 2 minutes before Christmas. So I think good. It's perfect quote, perfect comment here before Christmas. Michael says, "Thank you for an amazing year, Nick Patrick." He believes that Nick Patrick was the interview of the year. So that's going to be one of the. So first of all, tweet me, send me a message, whatever your category. So I want this to be PNP Nation through and through. All right. So Evan and I usually do, we do the PNP year-end awards, and we come up with categories, and then we choose. But I want this to be PNP Nation exclusive. So you come up with the categories, and then we'll do the results based on what you want. So I think we did discuss interview of the year. We did discuss best and worst interview of the year. So we're going to have those two from the Pancakes and Powerslam show. So the best interviewer and the worst interviewer. So I'm really interested. I'm really interested to see what you guys think of who the worst interviewer was. Don't spoil it for me, but I'm really interested to see who you guys thought was the worst interviewer on the Pancakes and Powerslam show. So go to the archive, go to blogtalkradio.com/pancakes and powerslams, and be refreshed to all the interviews that I had this year, and let me know which one was the worst one. That would be interesting. So, but yeah, we're going to do about 8 to 10 categories on the PNP year-end awards next week. And we'll make it work. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is 12 midnight here on the East Coast. So Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody. Yes, Feliz Navidad.
And even to those in the West Coast, even though you're 3 hours behind.
3 hours behind.
Now, then when it's 3 hours, and when it's 3 a.m. here, it's 12 a.m. there,
Absolutely, yeah.
Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and we ain't trying to eliminate nobody.
My wife just sent me a message on Facebook Messenger. Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas.
And the one thing about Christmas is it says Christ.
Yeah.
No such thing. You gotta do the Savage hands.
That's right.
No such thing as Xmas.
Yeah.
The Savage arms, and I'm friends with Lanny Powerful. Savage told me this. The Savage arms never lay down. His arms always was like this. Always.
Yes, awesome guys. Mo said you missed the part of the Nick Patrick interview. You gotta listen to it again. Yeah, it was lots of fun. My wife is funny. I'm live on the show now, of course, in my studio office, and she is in the living room, I believe, upstairs.
Corey, you got 1 hour.
Let's see. What else we got, guys? What else we got? All right. The Christmas looks like it's getting lit here on the Christmas episode of the Pancakes and Powerslam show. All right. Michael's asking personal show highlights for 2019. Great question. Again, ask Chris personal show highlights for 2019. Personal show highlights for 2019. 400 episodes for sure. Man, 400 episodes. Big shout out to Eddie Kingston for pulling it through last minute when Elijah Burke was taking his merry old time. Eddie Kingston, I mean, just came through, man. Just I literally called him like 5 minutes before the show, and he came through and said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And we ended up having two guests on 399. So 399 is a very memorable show to me, just because it was like totally improvised from Eddie Kingston's standpoint, and that was really, really cool. Personal show highlights. I gotta figure out who I had on the show this year. Yeah, I gotta figure out who I had on the show this year. Let's see. I'm gonna do a quick rundown, quick scroll of who I had on the show this year. So yeah, I would definitely say 400 episodes. Eric Bischoff live video for 400 episodes. That was
great.
super cool. Super cool. I really, really appreciate that.
Black Bart.
Of course, old Black Bart. That's all. That's always a gem.
Rockacon 1.
Yeah, that was my birthday episode.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah. So we celebrated my birthday with Rockacon. So that was always fun. Every time she was on, that was a video interview.
The New York
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what else I enjoyed about this year, 2019. When Train and Ice Train and PN News were both on, that was really fun, and we were watching the video of them against each other. That was real fun.
WWE removing what was it? He was doing the live video for the pay-per-view.
Oh, that was fun.
Remember that? Yep.
Yeah. That was fun. I had like 15,000 views. I have 15,000 live views on that pay-per-view live reaction, and WWE tossed it. They removed the video, unfortunately. Oh yeah, just really breaking out of, just going on my own as far as the PNP show for so long. I mean, it's my baby, so I've had good partnerships with people, and this year this is the 7th year of the show, and it really gave me an opportunity to really kind of start from scratch in a sense, because for so long I've been kind of affiliated with other people. I'm still highly affiliated with Wrestling Rumors and Fan Buzz. Huge. I mean, like, Fan Buzz and Wrestling Rumors are just amazing. I mean, just the both of them are just amazing. Big shout out to John. Big shout out to Heidi. Just amazing sites to work for, to write for. So thankful, so awesome, so grateful. But I mean, in addition to that, the Crave Wrestling YouTube page just really started from scratch, as far as just really starting to build a following on the Crave Wrestling page. There's people who tweets me as like, "Is the show still going on?" I'm like, "Yeah." So for those, so with that being said, I think this is a really good place here to talk about this. The PNP Nation is absolutely amazing. You all are fantastic. Do me a favor, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Listen, one of the biggest things about YouTube pages growing is when people share it. The publisher, the YouTuber, they don't do the work themselves. They have their faithful listeners, their faithful watchers, do the work for them. So I beseech you, PNP Nation, to do the work through a biblical term there, Evan. I
I
beseech you,
beseech you, brethren, hearken to thy word. Big King.
uh, yeah, and I beseech you, PNP Nation, to really put in the groundwork for me and really share the video, share the YouTube, share the Pancakes and Power Sam show. Let people know about it, because I hear all the time just people know about the show, and even wrestlers who've heard about the show before they even came on. So that's amazing. Like, to me, that's a huge honor to have someone to have a wrestler who knows about the Pancakes and Power Slam show before they even come on the show. So that's huge. So yeah, I mean, listen, show's been on Sports Illustrated, Fox Sports. It's been Dave Meltzer has been in the Observer a bunch of times. So yeah, I'm honored, guys. I really am. So just really do that groundwork, continue to really push the show. Like I said, it's really, I'm really stepping out on faith when it comes to YouTube and growing the YouTube audience, because I was so used to being a part of other YouTube audiences, you know what I mean? And so now it's really my own YouTube audience. I'm honored and blessed to link up with Wrestling Rumors when it comes to the Facebook presence, but and fan buzz, definitely fan buzz with the Facebook presence too. Fan buzz and the Pancakes and Power Slam show has some really good things coming in store for WrestleMania weekend. So I'll definitely be letting you all know about that too. But yeah, just yeah. So my YouTube presence, just really stepping on faith this year. It's only been like for the past like 3 months. So yeah. So I really appreciate you all. Do the legwork with me. Let's get in the trenches together and really spread the YouTube presence of the Pancakes and Power Slam show. And that comes from liking, sharing, and subscribing the shows. Please do that. Listen, if you go to the Pancakes and Power Sam's YouTube page, you see that there is a live interview or a interview period, but typically it's been a live interview with a pro wrestler every single week. Like, really, that's huge. Yeah, that's absolutely huge.
Tell y'all this.
A lot of people don't do that. So
I've been doing my show for over 6 years. I went 4 years straight with a guest. Then it was a botch with somebody no showed it. Then I changed my format up some. So you're the only show I know, me and you, and I know this. And I could say this with confidence. My show and your show, the only shows that our audiences had could depend on a live interview with somebody every single week. Now you beat my record. But yeah, this is how it is. I know my format is wrestling, but I tend to talk about other things so as pop culture, but that's important. Because a lot of shows they just talk and you just hear 2, 3 people talk and more out of business.
right.
It's good to have other people. Show isn't about you per se, even though you're the host. You give the artist a chance to hear the people who did it. Shout out to Marty Elias too. I tried to give him a shout out last week. His name escaped me. Marty as well.
Absolutely. Marty and I are good buddies, and we still talk to each other. And he sends me random "How are you doing?" tweets, not tweets, but text messages. We just chatted recently, actually.
You know,
18th.
Anybody knows this? Anybody that's up and coming trying to start a show, I can say this. And Mike Ryan, he did host my show this last week. Was it this week? Last week, because I was on air. He covered for me. You always have to have a ram in the bush, meaning you'll come across anybody, any of the boys or the girls. You can call in like it's a last minute. We know how the business is. Somebody a no show. It could be legit. Hey, family emergency. This happens. And you always have that person, that brother, that sister, the colleague. Hey man, can you give me 30 minutes? Can you give me 20?
Yep.
And Marty is one. JTG is
JTG.
the one. JTG,
Mm-hmm.
Black Bart.
Black Bart. Yeah.
Black Bart. Uncle Fred for me.
Yeah.
Jimmy Corderas as well.
Mhm.
Marty has even offered Mike Ryan, a whole bunch of. I had my Rams in the bushes. I know I got about 20.
Yeah.
Like you did. Some come, hey man, can you look out for me? Can you do this? So that's always important. Always,
Yep. 100%.
always important.
Raka Khan is another one.
Yeah,
I'm like, hey, can you come through tonight on the show? And
yeah.
she's always been willing and definitely excited to be on the show too. So shout out to
Never
Raka
know.
as well.
Never know what you're gonna get with that. You talk
Yeah.
about real live, pal. Never
Talk
know.
about controversy creates cash.
Never know.
Right, absolutely. Lexi's asking, Hernandez was surprisingly supportive of Cornette. How do you feel about Cornette as a whole? Where could you see him being successful? His podcast is doing well. So, I mean, it's easy to just be a podcaster nowadays and make,
Yeah.
a good living. Definitely a reasonable living as a podcaster, especially with Cornette's following. What do I think about him as a whole? I mean, he's one of the greatest minds in the business. He's one of the greatest managers of all time. He's in its easy top 5 as far as the greatest managers of all time. I've never been a huge Cornette guy, because one, he was a heel, so I didn't like him as a heel. So that means he did his job well. And then I don't listen to his podcast. It's just too vulgar for me. I'll listen to like bits and pieces to try to get some good news out of it but man, it just it's a little bit too much for me as far as the vulgarity is concerned. So not really I'm not a follower of his podcast. So I did as far as just the as far as just the comments are concerned. I mean, Elijah Burke said the same thing. Hernandez is saying the same thing. 2 minorities, So 2 minorities backing up Jim Cornette. I think that says something as far as just his relationship with the both of them. But I would say that I would say that there's just me being a psychology guy, and I'm about to be a doctor in psychology. I would say this. I will say that there's just some Freudian slips. Remember Lexi was here. We were talking about Freudian slips one day, one episode of the Pancakes and Powerslams show.
Mm-hmm.
There's just those Freudian slips, man, that just really kind of bring out something that's just kind of embedded in you. And so, I mean, he did the same thing. I remember watching the video of him doing the same line during the WWE episode back in the day. So, I mean, I can't sit here and say that Jim Cornette was intentionally meant to be racist with that line, but I think it definitely tasteless. That was over 20 years ago when he used that line before. So I think it's one of those things that, it's a lot. It's a very PR heavy type of culture now. And you just can't use those lines, nowadays. You shouldn't have even done it the first time. And then I just listening to the leaked audio of him talking to people, talking to someone about the black audience and things like that. It's one of those things that it doesn't justify it at all. It doesn't make it any better. But I'd imagine that Cornette is one of many people who have had, disparaging remarks toward minorities. He just happened to be caught. And so, I mean, there's a story that I know about There's a story I know about Eric Watts,
Yeah.
not Eric Watts, but Bill Watts. When it comes to Junkyard Dog and why he kept him in the wrestling for Mid South, and racial remarks that he made to Junkyard Dog, and Junkyard Dog found out and quit. It was happening in the bathroom, so and he didn't even know the Junkyard Dog was there. So, a lot of people credit Bill Watts for being giving minorities chances, and I was that guy. And then a good friend of JYD told me that story, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And so I'd imagine that there's a lot of other people. I mean, I've heard a story about Ric Flair, making
Flair
making
on
some
that.
remarks. Of course, people told me about Oli.
Yeah.
Oli's, the thing is, Oli's it's not necessarily a surprise for him. Like he's been known for making disparaging remarks. There's certain people who
I give you one. Stone Cold.
Yep.
Michaels.
There's certain people who would surprise you that would make disparaging remarks. Yeah.
Sorry, Taylor.
So it's unfortunate, but that is a part of the culture when it comes to pro wrestling, as far as using minorities for financial gain, and that's it. I mean, like I said with JYD, knowing that he's a top draw in the Louisiana market with Mid South, and using them for that, and just, it's unfortunate. It really is. It really, really is. It's unfortunate, and Jim Cornette is just one out of many that just revealed himself when it comes to his take on the black audience. Is he a racist? I don't know. I don't know the guy. So I can only make judgments out of sound bites. So I don't know him. So you can't have. You can be accurate. You can find some accuracy, but you can't be 100% accurate when you're judging out of sound bites. When you're making conclusions out of sound bites, unless they're like blatant. Like Hogan's tape. That's that was pretty blatant. But yeah, and Cornette's tape was pretty blatant too. So yeah, I mean, he's I think he's one of those people based on the sound bites and based on the things that I've heard, he's one of those people who is probably has a take on minorities. Does he want? Is he one of those people who don't want to have anything to do with them or whatever? No, because we've seen two people who's worked for him, Elijah Burke and Hernandez, speak highly against them, and they're both
D'Lo Brown as well.
D'Lo's,
with other people.
So yeah, there's minorities who speak highly of them. So I think that is something that shouldn't be overlooked as well. So yeah, it's really interesting with Cornette, because I don't follow him enough to know much about him, but I have heard some disparaging views on him when it comes to racial remarks. So that's unfortunate, of course. Corey's asking, who do I think will be in the Hall of Fame this year, and who I think is past due? I'll be writing a piece on that soon.
Past due. Demolition.
I'll do past due. I'll save that. I'll follow me subscribe to the Crave Wrestling Facebook page. So I'll leave a cliffhanger for that when it comes to the piece. But I will do the past two. I think Demolition should be a part of it. I think Bam Bam is way past due.
One Man Gang.
I think No Show Sid. I think even No Show Sid should be in the Hall of Fame.
Midnight Express.
Midnight Express for sure. One Man Gang. One Man Gang for sure. I don't know if he's necessarily past due or overdue. I think he's one of those people who
But
will eventually
but
get
the
in there
but look at Kamala. Look at this thing. Kamala and One Man Gang should be in the Hall of Fame.
for sure.
The
Yeah, I think
problem
they should
is
be there.
what's going to happen with them, and I'm not gonna say I'm friends with George, that's One Man Gang, but I'm pretty chummy with him. He's very humble. He doesn't even think he's a legend. Back in the day, he is.
Mm.
So One Man Gang, Bam Bam. Sadly, me and you, I think we were on air when Bam Bam passed. I got the text. I was on air for my show. I got the text about Bam Bam, but then I was on here. That was sudden. But
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I think of King Kong Bundy. Bam Bam been on that years ago before we was even on radio. I apologize. But Bam Bam's been gone. Do him. Put him in. One Man Gang. Kamala, you gonna wait till he die? Then you gonna give him a memoriam? These guys, I have friends that are really close with Kamala. I know he really struggled and really trying to make it in life. Get a man his due.
yeah,
Sorry, Benoit will never go in the Hall of Fame, Cole, because of the lawsuit that's currently going around. Uh, I'm really tight with the Hearts, so that will never happen.
yeah, yeah.
But I do know Vice is supposedly doing a documentary on Benoit.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Let's see what else.
yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I did see. I did see that Elijah Burke was on NWA. Mo said that. Rose says Merry Christmas. Um, Shout out to Michael on this one here. Hashtag no show said. There you go. Alexi.
See it.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's funny. Oh man, can I please read Michael's shout out for tech? Where is your shout out, Michael? I don't see your shout out, Michael, for oh yeah, absolutely. Evan is my host before the Hunt on Hunt Channel, my outdoor TV. I'm very proud of him. We had 111,000 viewers last week. Evan does a good job, a great job. Okay. Yes, absolutely, Michael. Absolutely, man. 100%. Evan is the man.
Thank you, Michael.
Good man. Listen, I'm loving these. Okay, so let's go to Cole. Matter of time, the debut with AEW. What should we expect? What should we expect with Ryback if he debuts with AEW? Now I know he's been hurt, so I know he's not really doing a lot of physical stuff. What should we expect from Ryback to do debut with AEW? I don't even know how Ryback will fit in AEW. I mean, WWE just seemed like a perfect. Like Ryback's he's just a mastodon. He's a mammoth.
Right,
He's huge, man. And I just don't see like he fit the WWE very well because he was a character. You know, like he was a Ryback. He was a gorilla. You know, and so I don't even know how that would fit. You know what I mean? And Ryback is his name now. He got his name changed. So he would still be Ryback. So he would still have like a silverback gorilla type of gimmick to him. I don't think it fits. I don't even know. It's just weird to fit. It's just weird to fit that type of gimmick in AEW.
One thing AEW does need is size. You need somebody that's big that looks like that just muscle. They had to do with a Wardrow or whatever his name is, Warlow with MJF, and you got Swagger with them polo shirts every week, but you need somebody that has some mass, some beef, some beef. So
but still though, like it doesn't matter. Bodies don't matter. characters matter. You know what I mean? So if you're just throwing someone in there just to be like Wardlow, for instance, Jack dude looks really good with MJF, but it's like, what's your story, dude? You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah,
really,
we don't know
you
yet.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like, Swagger, as much as I'm a big fan of Swagger. He's been on the show.
It is the
Um,
enforcer.
it's like that it fits
He's
with
MMA. Yeah, he's an
Jericho. You
MMA
know what I mean? Just
enforcer.
kind of being
Right.
there. It kind of fits with him, but it's like, okay, so if we bring in Ryback, then what? You know what I
He'll
mean?
be
Like,
muscle.
it's okay. So
He'll be
you're
a muscle
the third
muscle
muscle for
dude.
somebody, and it's like, okay, we've already got two. We've already got Wardlow and Swagger, so we're gonna have a third muscle for somebody. I don't
He
see it. I don't see the appeal right now. Yeah. Here we go. Lexi, there's been a ton of backlash from the wrestling block concerning Tony Khan being involved in the Stunner segment. Do you think the harsh criticism is warranted, or is it past due? Yeah, and I think it's I think I don't know if I would say past due, because I think the first segment was him dressing like Orange Cassidy. That got a lot of criticism too. A lot of people were saying Tony Khan's he's just a mark, basically. He's just a mark for the business who's kind of getting his jollies from his dad Shad's money. You know what I mean? So to do his own wrestling project, that's a lot of the criticism that we're hearing right now when it comes to Tony. It's kind of like a two-way. It's kind of, I kind of have two thoughts on that, really.
mm-hmm.
It's one of those things like,
Yeah.
Tony's like 35, 36 years old, so he's still a young guy, and so he's just having fun. Don't we all want our bosses to be like that? You know what I mean? To have fun. Yes, we just turned 37. Tony Khan did. So, we all want our bosses to be that, just to be that that guy who just kind of hangs out with us. Similar to like Shane McMahon. A lot of people say Shane McMahon is like one of the boys a lot. We kind of all want that. We kind of all want that feel of him being one of the boys. I think the problem with that is that AEW is so much in its infancy right now. So don't make it look like a mark. Like, put some equity in it. You know what I mean? If you're gonna have him, on the air, put some equity in it. Build something from it.
Yeah.
Like, do a storyline where Tony Khan, make money out of it. If you just wasted, to me, it's just, you just wasted money having Tony Khan being a part of a stunner segment where you could have made money from it. You could have built equity in it. You could have built a storyline to eventually have Tony Khan stun somebody, and now you just kind of wasted and threw it away because he just comes out and, and it's just like, you don't do that. You don't want to make yourself look like a mark. But I love that you are a mark in the business, but you don't want to overdo it, because you'll get a lot of criticism from the people. Like, oh man, he's such a mark.
Yeah.
And you know that you're going to get that criticism, and you don't need any negative PR right now with AEW. You know what I mean? AEW's not even, it'll be 4 months old, next week. So you don't want any negative PR when it comes to AEW. They're already dropping, viewers. They've lost almost 1 million viewers, over the past couple of months overall. And it's like, man, that's a huge drop, and you don't want that negative PR. And they for weeks they were just killing NXT. Now it's either tied or back and forth, and so you don't want they're clearly losing momentum when it comes to the total viewership. So you don't want that negative PR when it comes to that. Yeah. If you want Tony Khan to come out and stun people, which It's great,
No,
but build
I
to
gotta
it.
be a stunner. You
Yeah.
shouldn't even be a stunner because that. And I agree with you. It's answer Lexi question. You gotta have that balance. Everything you said, I agree with.
Mhm.
Stop criticizing it, people that are because it's nothing new. Every face that has ran a company, every figurehead since the beginning of time have got involved on TV, cameras, and storyline in some instance. Everybody's done it, even if they was a classic legendary wrestler or if they was just, I mean, your friends, look at Bischoff, look at Vince. Gosh, please, last thing Tony Khan need to do is do a Russo, and I'm cool with Russo. I had him on my show.
Mhm.
You know, overbooked. Look at Jarrett. Look at Fritz. Look at not just Fritz Burr, Eric. Look
Fritz
at
is a good example.
look at Von Eriks. Look at Lee Daz. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen the Bookers, Bischoff, and people come in and get incorporated. So I'm with you. If he does it, making money, do not do the stunner. Come on. Why are you doing a move that clearly associates
Yeah.
the other company? I'm not gonna say competitor because AEW never said it was going. It's an alternate.
Mhm.
Why are you gonna do a stunner knowing that that is associated a WWE move? Anybody that does it, you're gonna think about Stone Cold, Kevin Owens does it. So if you're gonna do moves, do something different. Do a running drop kick. I don't know. Do a flying head scissors.
Yeah.
Do a backslide, something just more neutral
Yeah.
instead of doing a WWE move in your AEW.
Right.
That's
Right.
just my thoughts on it. So we'll see. One thing, Shao Kahn, Daddy Kahn, not getting in the ring. He ain't doing no
No,
moves. So
they'll probably do
I
a
mean,
low
he's
blow.
running Jacksonville Jaguars and the analytics, and all he's doing. And yes, and this is true because I know I have a close friend that's listening to the show now, not mentioning him, and ties in and know people that work with Daddy Khan. Daddy Khan is legit. He has more money than Vince. That is not a work. That is legit.
Oh, of course.
So
Yeah. Yeah. He's
it'll be like this. Like yeah, he does. Going history. Vince McMahon, when Raw started, wasn't a billionaire. Ted Turner has more money than Vince. Monday
mhm.
Night Wars helped bring Vince to become he was a millionaire then, helped him become a billionaire. Daddy Khan has more money than Vince. So it's just that Vince has, of course, he is the biggest company in the world. He's global.
Yeah.
So that's legit. Shad Khan isn't stupid. He knows what he's doing to a point.
Mhm.
Vince is not dumb. He's still a genius at marketing and promoting. So, and I'll say too, to the chat, let us know, excuse me, do you feel that the year 2019, with the exception of AEW, with the exception of the Wednesday Night Wars, do you feel that this has been a down year in wrestling overall?
Hmm.
You compare this year to the 93s, the 94s, the 95s, the 2007s. What was WrestleMania 27 year? I was there. 2012,
Uh,
2012.
that was 11.
Yeah, like 2011, 1990. Do you consider 2019 to be as bad as some of the worst years in wrestling?
Mm.
Besides the Wednesday Night Wars and AEW,
Mm. Interesting. Alonzo's asking, what is my opinion on the male and female wrestler of the year? I would say male Kofi. I would say female. I'd probably still go with Becky. The main event, the double champ, and then Kofi, the setup. Kofi was relevant from, like February to October. So that's a good 8 months. The chase going into WrestleMania
hmm,
started around Elimination Chamber. Um, the gauntlet match on SmackDown, and leading into Mania. So Kofi was like super relevant, super over from February to October. So that's 8 out of 12 months, and then Becky, of course, winning the Royal Rumble, the double champ, first ever WrestleMania, and she's been champ the whole time. So yeah, I would say Kofi and
Becky, I'll give that to her. I mean, besides the obvious answer, Kofi is one. You can get one to MJF. Um, I
that's
mean,
it.
if you think of 20,
WWE.
oh, and WWE, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, Got to be Kofi. Because you look at it, I mean, who else? Who else besides Kofi didn't had a great year?
Right.
I mean, Seth was hot. He didn't decline this year. Well,
Yeah,
Ronda
Seth,
was
yeah,
20. Yeah,
yeah,
Seth didn't decline. Ronda was 18. They
yeah.
they really haven't pushed anybody. They haven't WWE has not pushed anybody so hard, but Becky, but Kofi. They tried it with Seth, but Seth went down.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Now
been
here's the thing. What about comeback of the year?
um
In any promotion?
mm,
Did you got put Dustin up there in one match? I
man,
when I say comeback, this
um I don't know, I mean there's hasn't really been good comebacks and
what would you shall I say like reinventing? I mean,
I mean
Dustin was great.
Goldberg had some redemption at SummerSlam with Dolph. Uh
Yeah, Goldberg.
you
Daniel
know,
Bryan
but
did
but
pretty not really a comeback, but
but Super Showdown was just horrible. But he did have some
yeah,
redemption at
Showdown.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. Well, guys, we'll talk
Then
about
you
that
kind of think about it, you're right.
yeah, if that's what you want to, if that's what you want on the year-end awards, that's what we'll talk about. See, best wrestling match of the year. Cole is asking. Yeah, let's talk about that on
Yeah.
the year-end awards. I like it. I like it. Best
Disappointment of the year.
company. Yeah, all these things we'll talk about next week. So don't forget, we'll talk about them next week. Well, let's talk about a few more subjects before we close the show tonight. Thank you all for being with us live on Christmas Day.
Very.
We are open, ladies and gentlemen, on Christmas
Is
Day.
anybody under the tree right now?
Yeah,
Trying to unwrap presents.
absolutely. There's a
Someone,
lot. There's a lot in my house here. Um, Cole is asking, so stoked Samoa Joe is finally back in the storyline. I hope it culminates in WrestleMania with Rollins. That would be great for you. I don't think it will. I actually think
he'll be a one-off.
I actually think it'll be more AOP related. I like the because it looks like they're doing Ray. It's kind of like Ray, Owens, and Joe are the three baby faces, and then you have Seth and AOP. So I'd be cool with a 6-man. Because right now, I mean, obviously, if he took that bump, he's getting clear to go, and I think that's a really good way to take him off the commentating too. I think that was a really good way to do that, because basically it was clear. It's been reported that WWE like him a lot, but they still see some equity in him, so they don't want him to stay in the commentating booth, in the commentary booth. So if he's actually cleared to go again, I think this is a good way. So here's what I would prefer. I want to see Owens versus Rollins for the U.S. Championship at Mania. I want to see that. People are saying KO win the Rumble and beat Brock at Mania. No, that's just not. I mean, you have to think about larger than life, glitz and glamour, marquee, type of selling tickets, all just WrestleMania is a spectacle, and sometimes a lot of these fans can get so mark heavy and so within their markdom that they're like, yeah, have Kevin Owens win the whole thing, and it's like I don't, I wouldn't say that, because I think you still got to bring out that WrestleMania marquee, larger than life type of feel when it comes to a main event of WrestleMania. Come on now. So I wouldn't say I would be cool with Kevin Owens continuing this feud with Seth Rollins beating Mysterio for the U.S. title, and then Owens beating Rollins at WrestleMania for the U.S. title. I'd be cool with that. I'd also be cool with a 6-man match at the Rumble or one of the pay-per-views beforehand, like was it Fastlane and Chamber
Something
or
like that.
something? Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. I'd do a 6-man match with Joe, Mysterio, and Owens against Seth Rollins and AOP. I'd be cool with that. I would have the heels win that one. So
He's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
We can say about Joe again. I mean, last time anybody really cared about Joe when he was feeding with Brock.
mm,
Then he kept losing to AJ and lost to Kofi. He was like the little engine that couldn't.
yeah, yeah,
And then he keeps getting hurt. Joe never got hurt much until working. Some people it's really hard to maintain that WWE schedule, especially when you're older. And Joe tends to get injured a lot. As a late member, he debuted against Seth. And remember, what a month or so later, he got hurt and
yeah,
gets
yeah.
hurt again.
Yeah, he
So he
missed.
gets hurt a lot.
Yeah, I
So
missed WrestleMania. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Big shout out to Lexi here. Please visit at Chris Prolific on Twitter. Not only visit, but follow at Chris Prolific on Twitter and cast your vote for next week's Best of 2019 PNP Awards. So please do that. We'll be doing that next week. Luke saying Joe is becoming this era of Taz on commentary. Yeah, I think that's a good point, Luke. And I like Joe. I think he's really made AOP look like stars. I love when he cuts promos on Raw. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. Like I just love it. Like I grew up with bad men. They're thugs. I love that. I'm like, man, that's how you put people over. That's what commentary is all about. You want to make the people look like stars out there. And Samoa Joe did he's doing a fantastic job really putting over AOP. And I think that, just the fact that they kept doing the back and forth when they were having Kevin Owens like come up and then they would go back to him and he's cutting the promo about AOP. Good. That's good. Kudos to WWE for that, man. I really appreciate
they did a good job on that. Yeah.
They're doing a fantastic job with using Joe to put AOP over. And that's a big deal because AOP, the whole Drake Maverick thing, which I thought was a horrible idea from the jump.
I think we all forgot about that.
Yeah, it was horrible. And I think that they're doing a really good job. They're doing a really good job with making them relevant again.
And he went from.
They're using Joe to really push that, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, think about it. They came in. They were really well on NXT. Then he had Paul Ellering. He disappeared. Then he would on their own. Then he disappeared again. Then he did the backstage segments. Also, they had Drake Maverick. Then he disappeared again.
Yeah.
And he appeared and now he was Seth. So they went through like already 4 different reincarnations or 4 different tweaks of that character. It's pretty good. Like you said, Joe's doing a good job of getting them over. WWE is doing a good job with that. I really enjoy it because he makes them feel like monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And with Seth being there and his voice doesn't help at all, that really adds to them being heels.
Yep.
Now, have they came up with a name for them 3 yet? I'm trying to remember. I don't think I heard it on Raw.
Nope, not yet. Nope. Seth and J&J on steroids. There you go. Like J&J security.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
meets some performance enhancing drugs.
That is
Not
true.
saying that ALDs on PEDs, which I doubt that I strongly doubt that they are, but just for
Thank you, Michael.
comparison's sake.
What happened to that group? What was it? The Hounds of the Dogs of War, the War Dogs.
The Dogs of War.
The Dogs of War was what was it? McIntyre
and Strowman and Lashley.
Strowman, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, it was Corbin, Lashley and McIntyre. I think it was. I think because Strowman was with Drew and Dolph, and then you had Lashley,
Yeah,
Corbin, and Drew. Yeah. Um.
architectural thing.
No.
Kind of like
Yes
that.
and no, Alonzo. Yes for Owen, and no for Benoit. Um. Really cool. All right, let's talk about a couple more before we close out tonight. Let's see what else we got. Awesome Ask Chris questions tonight, everybody. You made my planning for the show a lot better and a lot funner. And I think we'll be doing this next week, and I think we'll be kind of doing more of this within 2020 formatting from a formatting
Yeah,
standpoint, because I really want y'all are the ones who, I mean, the PNP Nation, whatever y'all want to talk about is more important than talking about some headlines.
headlines.
That too. I do like saying headlines. Here we go. I mean, y'all like me saying that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I would prefer just kind of freestyling it and just really getting the PNP Nation to really bring out the topics to talk about. Lexi does a fantastic job at that. Michael does a fantastic job at really bringing up some really cool topics that they found to be interesting throughout the week. So when 2020 is coming in, I think we'll do more of that as far as letting the PNP Nation pick the headlines for the week. I'll still be doing trivia every week, and of course we'll still do the weekly interviews. But when it comes to headlines and even further week topics, I'll let you all do more of that going into 2020, because you know why, right? Because I do it for you. Yeah, that's right. Lexi, real quick. Young Bucks leaving Twitter because of toxicity. Do you think that they're ready for the challenge of running a large-scale company and facing criticism? What advice would you give them? Good question, as always. I mean, I think it's one of those things that I think it's smart for them to take a break. I think it's something that people should do more. I mean, like, a lot of these wrestlers, they just kind of
overused Twitter.
they feel like they have to always comment to the SJWs. Like, they always have to defend themselves. They always have to, there's so much power in silence. I was talking about this recently when it comes to Jesus before Pontius Pilate. I mean, like, he was just telling him, like, say something, do something, and he just remained silent, although he was just totally guilt-free, but there was just power in silence, and it really moved Pilate. So it's one of those things that there's a lot of power in silence, specifically when it comes to dealing with a lot of just the social justice warriors on Twitter and social media and stuff like that. It's like, man, you know what, man? You can tell them the most justifiable, rational, reasonable answer that you possibly can have, and they'll still try to find something else to criticize. So it's like, it's one of those things that I got to give kudos to the Young Bucks for that, because just take a break. You know what I mean? Because they're listen, they're gonna criticize you regardless, no matter what. So
silence brings intrigue. There's nothing wrong with, for whatever reasons, why they took a break. It could be a PR ploy. It could be by their design. Now that he took a break, now people wonder, why did he take a break? What's going on with them? He's still coming up with content. Mm-hmm. So it brings the intrigue of, okay, I'm not going to see him again until January the 6th, 7th. So it's good to take a break from social media. Like you said, you got a lot of, not just pro wrestlers, athletes as it is.
Yep.
Comment on everything. They got to defend themselves. They got this. You're going to deal with the haters. They got criticized. So I like the fact that they left, especially them. I mean, he have some of the, you talk about marketing your own stuff. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Young Bucks have done the past 5 or 6 years. It's been amazing. So the fact that they're gone, cool. I'm pretty sure they'll be back by the beginning of the year, or definitely by
back soon. Yeah.
Dynamite, the first of the year. Isn't that the Bash of the Beach show?
I think
The
that's
first
later.
shorty is that it?
I
Was
think
that
that's
later? Was that the end of January?
yeah. I think that's like the 20th or something like that. Bachelor
Okay,
Beach.
the Mo said on the chat that
January
they
15th.
posted on Matt. Okay, Mo said they posted on Matt's Instagram why he did. He needs some time with their family.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what Mo
yeah.
said. Okay.
Yeah, I think that, and I think their dad said something about it too, or something like that. So, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think it's smart. I think it's very smart. I think it's a very smart thing to do. And yeah. What as far as what advice would I give them? You know, take advice. Take advice from people who you know who care. Um, you know, the critics are going to be critics because they like to be heard. They really don't really care about. They really don't care so much about your changing
Sorry,
more than they
fans.
care about them wanting to be heard. So you
Mhm.
know, sift. Separate those who care and those who don't. And for those who don't care, whatever they say, uh, you know, whatever. If AW drops to 500,000, think the party's over? Good question, Michael. That's a that's a really interesting point. I don't think it'll be over. I think at this point, when it comes to that, like if it drops under 500,000, you got a prime time slot on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. If it drops under 800, 500,000,
Yeah,
that is not good. So I would imagine if
to
if
be
uh,
panicked.
if it does drop
Yeah.
under 500,000, it would be kind of a panic mode, and it would be probably some type of scheduling change. I don't see Dynamite leaving, um, but I would see that it probably go into like a 10 o'clock slot or something like that. Like it's right now a lot of times it comes it's back to back, so we'll do like the 8 to 10 slot and then the 10 to 12 slot. If there is under 500,000, TNT definitely wouldn't want that prime time slot at 8 o'clock to be under 500,000 viewers. That would, of course they wouldn't want that. So I can see AEW moving to that 10 o'clock slot, if permanently to that 10 o'clock slot. If it drops and averages 500,000, I can definitely see that happening. Which isn't still. I mean, it's unfortunate because it definitely is a huge momentum swing to the bad. But if there is a panic mode and AEW Dynamite moves over to that 10 o'clock slot on Wednesdays, I still wouldn't count it as a huge loss, though. Really, I mean, because you still have a Wednesday night slot. 10 o'clock isn't terrible. Um,
Mhm.
it will still kind of they would just kind of concede to the Wednesday night wars, and it would be interesting because we would see Power. Power has that 6:05 slot, and then
Yeah.
that they're there for an hour. Then you have NXT for 2 hours, and then AEW for 2 hours. So that would be literally 5 hours of pro wrestling on one night. At least you go back and forth with I don't at this point I've gotten to the point where I prefer NXT more, so I usually watch NXT first because I like NXT more than AEW. Actually wrote a piece about that. Go check it out on FanBuzz. So I usually watch NXT first, and then I'll watch AEW probably like I what usually happens, I'll watch NXT during the time, and then I work out every day. So I go to the gym
What's
like that
AEW?
Wednesday morning when I'm doing cardio. I'll start watching AEW that Wednesday morning and watch it throughout the day in spurts. So yeah, that's typically what I do with
I watch
AEW.
both at the same time.
Yeah, I from a journalism standpoint, if I'm like I could watch it on both of my screens, but one volume will have to be off, and and I'll
That's what I
have to
do. I
switch
watch.
the volumes. So
Yeah,
I would want to hear their commentary with it too. So that's the reason why I just don't watch them,
I watch. I
concurrently.
watch. I watch at the same time, depending on what's happening. But like you said, the one I guess other you call the advantage is NXT. even though you can wait a couple weeks to watch it on the network, watching NXT live, and like you said, you can just watch the replay of AEW right
Right.
after.
Yeah,
So
and
kind
I've
of
done,
like the
I've done
old
that too, watching the replay.
right. It's like the old Nitro Theory when Nitro used
Yep.
to do the replay right after. So
Yep. Exactly.
I tend to do that. Since it depends on how I feel. I may watch AEW, then watch NXT later. I may watch NXT live, watch the replay of AEW. Sometimes I watch both. All depends on what's going on. But I still feel Wednesday nights now is the night to get excited about wrestling. I mean, when's the last time we've honestly got excited about Raw or SmackDown?
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, you
Um,
look forward, okay, Wednesday night, NXT, AEW, even Tuesdays, okay, NWA Power.
mhm.
You gotta add that ECO.
Power. Yeah.
So
All right, guys. Let's see. Final thoughts. Dave is saying Merry Christmas, fellas. Merry Christmas to
Merry
you as
Christmas, everyone.
well. Big shout out to Michael always as well. You guys are coming up with ideas for their name, the Architect of Pain. Rose says the Architects of Pains. Burn it down the pain. Alonzo, real quick, though, I like the new design of the IC title. I do. I think it's beautiful.
I like it.
And there's also rumblings of the U.S. title being changed too, which I think is long
About
overdue.
time.
Yeah.
About time.
Alonzo still wants the headlines. Mo still wants the headlines. Okay. Mo gets the news mostly from me. Okay, cool. Appreciate you.
Sorry, Mo. Shout out to Mo and who else was it? Cole, I think they're Cowboys fans. Man.
Yeah, well, the Titans lost to the Saints, which I mean they were huge underdogs, but
But
I mean
the
we stuck through it for a little bit, then we just kind of let go. Derrick Henry was out. We kind of jacked up because the Steelers lost. So the only thing we got to do is just beat the Saints and to beat
at the
Houston.
end of the
And we're in.
day,
But
at the end
now
of the
this week
day,
we have to beat Houston and we need Pittsburgh to lose for us to get that wild card spot. So
I mean, right now y'all the six. So you know, y'all need us. So I mean, we got everything locked up. Shout out to my Baltimore Ravens. Like
well,
I
of
said
course,
before in the
y'all
beginning of the year,
Ravens
of course,
does
locked up the number one seed and home field.
locked in the
And
South.
I wanna predict and say the Patriots. I do not believe they will make it to the AFC Championship. I don't think so.
I said Ravens, San Fran. That was my prediction
I
for
think
Super Bowl.
Ravens, San Fran, or Ravens, New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans can make it again too.
And
Mike Thomas
AFC
broke
Championship.
the record this weekend. So
AFC Championship, I feel, was going to be us against the Chiefs.
yep, I can see that.
But your Titans still in the six, so you gotta pray. RG3, we beat the Steelers, and y'all beat the who do y'all play again? Y'all beat
Houston
the Texans.
Texans, yeah.
Texans are wishy washy. You never know what you get with them.
Yeah,
So
we'll see, man.
I'll be pulling for y'all. I mean, I hope the Titans make it. I mean, I'm not a Steelers fan. I don't hate the Steelers. I'm just not a Steelers fan. I
Yeah.
dislike the Steelers, but I hate the Patriots. So
Yeah, we'll see.
and
man.
Ohio State, by the way, real quick, Featherstone, Clemson. I heard Clemson is
This Saturday,
favorite.
ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, Clemson Tigers will take that L to the Ohio State Buckeyes, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The Ohio State Buckeyes will take that big W against Clemson and finally reverse the curse that has been there since Woody. And that's the reason why he lost his job back in '79. But yeah, I think it'll be cool. I'm excited about it, and I'm really excited about Saturday night. Very, very excited. I think we got a big chance to win, and I think that we're gonna make it happen. So this weekend is going to be really, really, really big for me, and because Saturday will be the Buckeyes, Sunday will be the Titans, and we shall see. We shall see what happens with that.
And I get to sit back regardless.
You do,
Enjoy.
unfortunately.
And just get ready for the
In
10th
the
and the 11th.
in the pros, but not not in college because
No,
Maryland.
no one cares about college football, Maryland, man.
Well,
That's
I do. I'm
silly.
a huge college football
Yeah,
fan.
Ohio is known for the Ohio State. NBA, the Cavs hasn't been anything since LeBron. That one year he won a championship, and Mark Price back in the '80s when he used to knock Jordan out before he got Pippen.
Yeah.
The Indians to 2016 Terry Francona World Series, and after that, the Indians they need to call the Wild Thing, call Mr. Vaughn up from Major League. So I love. I got family in Ohio. Y'all always say college football.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not here in Maryland. No one cares about the Maryland Terps football team. No one cares. Basketball, yes.
Yeah. Basketball. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
College, no.
Yeah.
Here we're Orioles, Ravens, going way back in the day. Baltimore Blast, Baltimore Spirit. That was lacrosse and soccer. Still have a great soccer team with lacrosse team with Hopkins. And the old school Baltimore Stallions, CFL.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. We shall see what happens. It's going to be a really fun weekend for me. That's for sure. I'm looking forward to it. Go Bucks and go Titans for sure. So
I hope Ohio State wins. Only because I don't know why Clemson is now being talked about as a favorite. I don't understand it.
well, Clemson's. I
Um,
mean, they're defending champions and they've won. You know, I mean, it's been really them and Alabama the past like
yeah,
5 years. With
that's a
the
good point.
playoffs. So I mean, we won the first year, and then Clemson and Alabama has been winning ever since. So yeah, um, but yeah, we'll see. I think that Ohio State has a chance, and Oklahoma might take out LSU. We'll see. I was thinking
Yeah.
about that the other day. So, all right, guys, we're gonna head on out. Michael's giving us some love, of course. We're gonna head on out, everybody. Let's see if I got everybody. We're going overtime. We gotta go. We're out of time. So
Gotta
yeah.
go.
Oh, somebody said trivia. So okay, real quick, real trivia question. Who did the Undertaker beat to win the WWE Championship at Survivor Series 1991? There's your trivia question for today. So yeah, we'll see. People hating on the Buckeyes. It's cool. It's cool though. It's cool because we appreciate the hate. Okay, hashtag appreciate the hate because
We'll
what's
embrace
going to
it like
happen is
Kane used to do.
it's going to fuel us. That's all. It's just going to fuel us. That's all we need. That's all we need. We've been underdogs to Clemson, and people were saying that Clemson's going to beat us. It's cool though, because you know what? Appreciate the hate. All right, appreciate the hate. That's all we needed. That's all. That's what it's all about. So, all right. So, trivia question. Yes, good job, guys. Michael, Rose, Mo, Brian, Hulk Hogan. Open the cockpit door, Hulk Hogan. All right, last quick trivia question before we go tonight. Big Boss Man beat blank in a nightstick on a pole match. Big Boss Man beat blank in a nightstick on a pole match. So
Bowie State is a
do
good
that.
college.
We'll do that and head on out, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it has been a blast.
It's been an honor.
It has been a blast, ladies and gentlemen. I really, really appreciate everybody. Subscribe to the Crave Wrestling YouTube page, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me at Chris Prolific. Follow Evan at Tech_UTMR for Under the Mat Radio. And let's see. I think we got the right answers. Michael says no clue.
Lexi said
Big
so.
Bossman beat Test. No, that is not correct. Nightstick on a pole match. Boss man. I was petrified at this person back in the 90s because I literally thought he got out of jail to beat up the Big Boss Man. So
I know.
there's
One of the greatest matches against the GOATs. You remember that?
yes, I do. That's when he was the prisoner.
Mo got it right. Nails.
Yes, there it is. There it is. No. Nails. No. Boss man. Man, that dude was yeah.
You notice the way you ever noticed that heavy boss man was the heel, lighter boss man was the
baby
face.
face. Yeah.
Like when he was feeding with Hogan, his stomach used to overlap his pants. He was like still big barber size from NWA.
Yeah.
Then when he trimmed down some, he was the good guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I love the SWAT team boss man with the
Yeah.
you know that him and Bobby Cannon the little he used to do the nightstick. That's all he did with the was it the corporation?
Yep.
Corporate
That's when you
ministry.
had the
And all he did was just a little twirl.
yeah. That was
Same outfit, same nightstick,
Yep.
same vest, same pants.
Yep. He
And,
was the man. Well deserved Hall of Fame induction for sure.
Pepper
Ladies and
steak too.
gentlemen, it has been an honor. I appreciate you all for being with us tonight on the show. It has been awesome. Big shout out to Shawn Hernandez and Mrs. Hernandez. Shawn Hernandez for being on the show live tonight to spend Christmas Eve and Christmas morning with us. And Mrs. Hernandez, who was literally sitting right next to him while he was in an interview, taking time away from their date, which was amazing. Like, whoa, wait a minute. You're taking away from a date with your wife to be on the Pancakes and Powerslam show. PNP Nation, find Shawn Hernandez, find him on Twitter, give him a big thank you for taking away from his date with his wife and watching the Christmas lights to be on the show for a live video Q&A. So that's huge.
Shawn's a good dude.
So go find Shawn Hernandez on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, and thank him on behalf of the PNP Nation for doing that. That was great. So
and
thank Mrs. Hernandez for being cool with it too. So yeah.
Lexi said she was a test groupie back in the day.
You
don't hear that often.
Yeah.
One of my classmates was one too.
Yeah, I love the Test music, his original music. So
no one understood what it said, but
yeah, I loved it. It was super cool.
And we talked about that in New York. Remember, we was like, what is
yeah, we did.
All right, guys. About Powerball.
Yeah, all right, guys. It's we're going over time now. Merry Christmas. Have a great Christmas, everybody. Gotta go. We gotta go. We're out of time. Have a good night, Hogan and White. Hogan and White. Gotta go, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Good night.
Peace is the reason, and have a good night. Peace.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.